A solid win for the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Bosman had a much more solid game than last. No INTs. Made some key scrambles throughout the game. Um, Running backs, nobody having a real huge game. I know those sliders maybe have some realness to them a little bit. They're getting in there and they had a pretty good rush defense. One thing I did this game that I recommend to you guys, I feel like the game ran a little bit smoother. I turned down the threshold on the sliders down to 0. Um, I was snooping around and heard somebody say they did that, but they were playing on varsity around Heisman here. But I turned the threshold down to 0. Um, Mitchell had a pretty solid game catching the ball. These possession receivers really come in handy. As you see, C.J. Willer. Everybody says they got their receiving tight end. I think T and J says he's got a baby Gronk. This is my baby Gronk, 6'4", 277. Had a nice screen pass to Trevor Lewis. And man, Lorenzo Hall only had 2 catches today, but when he caught those balls today, man, I think I got to get this guy the rock a little bit more. So look for Lorenzo Hall getting the ball a little bit more. The defense is pretty solid today. These sacks came in some clutch times. LaShawn Rogers getting them. Senior Clark, the seniors, just stepping up, as you see. Even Senior Phillips came through with an interception which kind of held them away from getting into the end zone. So let's get into some of these highlights. And starting off, first drive finds Lorenzo Hall down the middle. Guy was looking pretty solid when he was catching the ball. He's got some size on him as well, so look forward to him getting the ball a little bit more. Comes across the middle for the first years needed. A couple plays later, we find C.J. Willer, 6'4", 277. As you see, Bosman escapes pressure, catches Willer going up the sideline, got a DN out there in coverage, not helping. At the end of the first quarter, score was 7-7, and after a nice kick return by Marshall, we find the senior Kane going down the seam. His first catch since he's been at Hawaii, honestly. He's been with Coach Keaton since he's been at Hawaii, and that's actually his first catch, and it was actually pretty good yardage there. Plays later, they're just jamming in with Boston for a QB sneak. Hawaii's up. Just as the game looks pretty tight, BYU throws it downfield, tests the senior safety out. There wasn't much pressure coming, but he thought he could test Phillips out. He throws it up, looking to get one, and picked off by the senior Phillips. He earned his spot. That's his first pick of the season. After a few solid plays, Bosman's exhausted. He scrambled a few times. It's time to get the ball on the man that's been hot today. They give it to Trevor on the screen. He's got some nice blocks up the sideline. Touch steps back, has the pressure coming. Let's get some nice blocks set up on the outside. Way to capitalize after the turnover, right before the half. And what really turned out to be a pretty quiet second half, low scoring for Hawaii. They shut out BYU in the second half. Lorenzo Hall catching a pass on the screen. He's got the size. He breaks his tackle. This is one reason why I'm saying I probably got to get this guy the ball. We would then have to settle for a field goal in the third quarter. And closing out the fourth quarter, giving it to the man that's been hot today. He gets in there to the game out. They shut BYU out in the second half. It's pretty surprising. Second half shutout was definitely surprising. They were very hot in the first half. Maybe it was the turnovers that got to them, but we keep on rolling. It was a rivalry game, so bragging rights for a year.